2021 Ford Bronco versus a 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E is going to be a war of the ages. Can you imagine that? Now, I'm pretty sure that most of you have noticed that car lovers around the world are living in some pretty interesting times nowadays. The actual status quo of mobility of the whole is on the verge of taking a rather abrupt turn, either for the worse or for the better. You tell me. Now, everything we know and love or hate about the automobile is going to change immediately in the next decade or so. And we're not talking about autonomous driving or anything crazy such as flying cars, at least just not yet. You know, but I have seen something in, I think it was in China. They had a heliports, and Uber was picking up people and taking them away in the sky to other heliports, and it was crazy. What a vision! Now, this very concept that makes you say, you know, I want to own and drive that. I mean, in the future, we won't even be driving stuff. We'll just be taking places from point A to point B autonomously. Now, not long ago, classifying a vehicle you saw for the first time was like cracking a nut with the sledgehammer. We only had sedans, hatchbacks, station wagons, SUVs, convertibles, pickup trucks, and sports cars. Granted, each of these segments had their own sub-niches that were probably a bit harder to pinpoint, but not impossible. Yet some convertibles are actually roadsters, and some hatchbacks can be sports cars, while some SUVs can hit 60 in under 4 seconds. But their basic essence is still pretty obvious to the trained and untrained eye. Well, here we are, in the third decade of the 21st century, and things are becoming increasingly complicated from this point of view, especially since there's also a clash of generations brewing in the distance. Baby boomers, Generation Xers are slowly fading out of the spotlight, and their place is being taken over by the assortment of a digitally literate millennials, all members of the so-called Generation Z. Not all Generation Z folks are yet old enough to drive or wealthy enough to buy a car. Some say that they don't even have an interest in them anyway. But most car makers are currently struggling to develop alternative means of transportation, mostly with them in mind. Now, the bombshell, most surveyors say that Generation Z people are about as car crazed as flies splattered across the windshield. And that's true. Cars don't interest them. I have a 13-year-old, and you know what? Cars don't interest him at all. And particularly my grandson. Nothing at all. He just looks at me like, in what? I'm like, you know you're going to get your license one day. Yeah? In what? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And but that said, car makers still want to remain relevant in the future. Like any old age business, so must complete in the various ways to spark the joy of motoring in the younger generation. Sometimes these competitions even take place inside the car brand's own lineup. Can you imagine that, folks? Now, this is something else. The Bronco is a boxy off-roader with a rigid rear axle and powered by an internal combustion engine that, no matter how efficient EcoBoost technology is, it still runs on the good old-fashioned dinosaur juice, as they would call it. So, fitting both the Bronco, as you see here, and the Mustang Mach-E have horse-inspired names with large legacies behind them. So it'll be interesting to see which one of these two niches will become mainstream in the long run. Everybody wants the Bronco nameplate to return to be a successful one, but we're betting on the electric-powered one here. I tell you, you put these two together, and imagine what you get. Well, the Bronco's going to be hybridized before it goes electric, and then eventually it is going to become electric. And you know what? I think the Mach-E is still going to be here. Tell me what you think in the comments. This is A Automotive Reviews. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Hi, this is Bruce from AO Automotive Reviews, encouraging you to subscribe, to like, and to continue watching these videos. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to putting out a lot more great content. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Much love. Peace out.